Peace and love, family. It's your girl, Sixthegoddis. And keep in mind, I'm a goddess and I'm sensitive about my shift. I hope you are doing well. I'm doing amazing. I wanted to make this video because this is a question that I get a lot. And I see a lot of bad advice in regards to this. And I'm going to go ahead and give my advice and let you know what I learned the hard way, what I learned the easy way, and share, all of things I've seen work, what I have seen not work, and go ahead and make this video because it is so necessary. Because what is being produced is just not acceptable. Okay, so we need to talk about the role we play in this, how to fix things. Now, before we get into this video, okay, ladies first, get into this makeup look, honey. I have a women's only Patreon. If you're not in there, what are you doing? I have a women's only Patreon where I do tons of exclusive content just for that group. I get ready for all of my recorded and live content on there. I show all the makeup I use, hair products, tips, tricks, whatever it is. I show it. I do not gatekeep. And while I'm doing so, we have cute girl talk about different subjects that the girls can request. We do movie nights, get-togethers. We have a Discord, a group chat. It's a great community of women who are solution-oriented, who are not defeated, who want to grow, who want to be their best selves, and just great feminine fellowship. So ladies, if you're not in the group, what are you doing? I will have the link in the description box to join in. So let's go ahead and get right into this. How to raise a son the best way you can as a single mom. A few disclaimers. Number one, in no way, shape, or form is this video to encourage women to be a single mom and show you how to do it so it's easier. Step one, do not become a single mom. Let me start there. Get married before you have any children, period. I've done plenty of videos on the intricate whys behind that, but let's start there. This video is more so for women who have already done that, and this is where they are, and they're trying to make the best out of the circumstance they're in. If you have not already done this, do not do it, okay? Number two, there is never a substitute for an actual father in the home with a son. Never. There is never a substitute for having a father he can wake up to every day and fashion himself like and support him. There is nothing is going to beat that. So this video is about, third disclaimer. If you do have a son, I encourage you that you allow him to live with his father. If you have a circumstance like mine where there is abuse and mistreatment involved and you must keep the child within your custody solely, I'm going to show you how to make the best out of it. Because I already know how y'all are. Okay. I make a video. Sixthegoddis said, please just stop. All right. Do not go make a video. Sixthegoddis is encouraging women to be single mothers. Absolutely not. Sixthegoddis is breaking cycles and being honest with the next generation of women so we can stop this whole, you could be married and still be a single mom. And we can stop this whole, I did it myself and you'll be just fine too. I'm trying to break that cycle. You don't like it, bye, click off, I don't care. Okay, so 10 things to raise a son the best you can as a single mom. I want to take a moment to brag on my son. I am extremely proud of the young man he has become. When I really observe him in his element around friends, school, whatever it is, I just beam with pride at how this young man has turned out. Okay, I'm telling y'all right now. So now my son is so great. I feel as though, honey, I need to be giving advice at this point. I'm like, wow, this kid is amazing. I truly feel as though he's amazing on his own. I have fully been prepared. Let me go ahead and start with this. As a parent, when you have a child, a mistake a lot of parents make is, I want this child to act, think, behave, and most importantly, treat me or look at me the way I think I should. Okay, that's step one where you're going wrong as a parent, particularly as a single mother of a son. Your job as a parent is to love and support your children no matter what they do. Okay, all this, my child have to act this way for me to love them or for me to, that's not how it works. Okay, at the very least, if you just cannot coexist with your child, go be quiet and eat your rice. All right, but we start off at the wrong foot already when we have children with an idea in our head of they're going to be a doctor and they're going to be this. They're going to be who they're meant to be. You're worried about the wrong thing. You're already turning into a controlling, psychotic parent. Okay, your job as a parent is to nurture, love on that child, and support them into whatever they choose. You guide them, give them advice, but ultimately they're doing what they want. Your love and acceptance and how well you speak of them should not be determined based upon, what they do with their life. Okay, assuming they're not hurting anyone. So many parents, you put your children in a position where they feel as though if they don't please you or do things the way you think they should, they won't have your love. Okay, step one, never make your child feel as though your love for them is conditional. Now, that's a parenting tip in general, not just women with their sons. So I actually went ahead and wrote this down, my talking points, to make sure I cover all bases. All right. Number one, yes, do not be strong. Okay. A mistake a lot of single mothers make is they'll say things like, "Oh, I have a son, so I got to be strong. I can't let him see me scared. I can't let him see me upset." That is actually the total opposite of what you should be doing. As a matter of fact, yes, allow your sons to see you be weak. Allow your sons to see you be afraid. Period. Okay. Allow your sons to see when you're scared. Allow them to see when you're overwhelmed sometimes. Am I saying to have a total mental breakdown every time something goes awry? Absolutely not. That is not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is a lot of women, where they go wrong is they sit there in front of their sons and always act as though they got it. They ain't never scared. They're good. Remember, a boy, you are training him of how he views women when he views you. Those are the men who grow up and feel like, my mama was never scared. My mama never needed nothing. So why does this woman need something? Always remember, when you're raising a son, you are raising somebody's husband. You're raising somebody's father. You're raising a leader. All right. The voice you speak to him in, your interactions with him, that's the voice that he'll talk to himself in his lifetime. He's not going to be able to fathom another woman needing more than what you needed. All right. So when you have a son, do not be afraid to show him when you feel weak. Show him when you feel afraid. If you sit there and act strong the whole time, you are creating a boy who's going to grow up and start dating women and say, my mama did it all, so you can too. Absolutely not. Okay. The more you are in your femininity, the more it naturally develops his masculinity. Okay. A lot of women, you kind of think that you can beat or force your child into his masculinity. It doesn't work that way. If you're a woman raising a son on your own, your best chance at developing his masculinity outside of having a man in the home is to be as deep into your feminine as possible. Okay. You have to depend on science. Okay. Once there's no man in the house, depend on science. Masculinity naturally develops in that sense of femininity. Okay. You make it very clear that you are different genders, that you have different expectations. That's going to be your best bet. Okay. That brings me into number two, provide positive male mentorship and reinforcement. As I stated before, there is no substitute for an actual man with your son. Okay. If you do not have a man in the home, you want to consider, for example, I have my son in mentorship programs with different fraternities, Black fraternities. Okay. And that's great because that's college educated men, who have things going for themselves. And most fraternities have programs that are free most times, where, they'll take the boys under their wing, field trips, teach about college, manhood, different stuff like that. So make sure you're utilizing the college brothers. They're always happy to help. They're very supportive of the boys. So reach out to things like fraternities, the Nation of Islam in your area. They have different schools. You want to, the type of man you would imagine your son would be healthiest growing up as, you want to try to put him around those men as early as possible. Because most young boys will always kind of set their eyes on a particular man and say to himself, like, I want to be like that. So you want to make sure that you try to kind of curate, okay, who he's laying his eyes on to, encourage him to choose something positive to fashion himself after. And also this is why it's important as a single mother to be helpful and kind in your community, because most Black men, if they know you're a single mother and you're raising a son and you tell him, hey, can you show him how to do this or something like that, they're always willing to help. Okay. So you want to make sure that you're not you have to have a sense of community with the men around you in order to have hands on deck, so if so necessary, for your son. This does not mean that you send your son alone with grown men. It does not mean that. What it means is you want to keep those connections there. Okay. Do not self-isolate as a single mother. It takes a village for a reason. If you don't have a village in your family and your child's father, create your own village. And this also kind of brings me into a side note. Single mom means single. This is the part you're not going to like. It's very cringy to me when I see y'all pop a baby out and 6 months later, a year later, barely, you're on the market scavenging for a man. It doesn't work like that. Single mom means single. Okay. More than likely, you will need to stay single until that child is old enough to talk and fight back. Okay. Y'all cannot be doing this thing where you have these small children talk about you and your baby daddy grew apart and you run out and every man you meet, you're just like, oh, okay, this is your new daddy. It doesn't work like that. When you think about child molestation, it is very dangerous to have a man in a home who is not related to a child. And so if that boy is still small where he cannot really speak and really, speak up for himself, he can't fight back, you are taking a major risk. Okay. This is why you get married before you have children, because you cannot just have men all up in the house with your children. It doesn't work like that. Okay. So I tell women all the time, be prepared as a single mother to potentially be single until that child is like double digits or older. Okay. That's just the reality of it. Okay. Single mom means single. Don't forget that. Single mom does not mean pop the baby out and 6 months later you talking about I'm looking for a new man. That's not how it works. The next thing is give him freedom and let him make his own choices. Okay. The best way to turn a young boy into a monster grown man is to be controlling of him. Period. Okay. Let him make his own decisions from small. So when he's small, you give him the decision of small things like what do you want to eat for breakfast? What color pillowcases do you want to buy? Always allow him to feel like when it comes to serious life decisions, like, that can affect him long term. Of course, as the parent, as the adult, you don't allow them to necessarily make those choices for themselves. But you have to always allow that boy to feel as though he has some type of autonomy over his life. Okay. If he doesn't, he's going to rebel. Men don't change from little boys. A grown man, as long as he is underneath a roof where he is respected, he stays and respects it back. It goes all the way down to them as young boys. As long as he feels respected, feels as though he's able to have some type of, control over his life, make some type of decisions for himself, you will rarely have to worry about him acting out, getting into trouble, rebelling against you. He doesn't feel the need to because he's in an environment where he feels like he has some type of control. Do not have one of them boys where you tell him how to eat, sleep, and let him make his own choices. He's going to be a man. As a man, he will also have to face his own consequences. You have to build that muscle in him to build faith and confidence in himself to make decisions and be able to stand on himself and say, if I did make the wrong decision, that's on me as a man. If you sit there and hover over him, make every choice for him, from how he wear his hair to what the clothes he put on his back, you'll probably deal with sneakiness and rebellion at some point. Okay. Give him freedom. Let him make his own decisions in majority. You can make decisions for him if, like I said, it's very serious, life or death. But when you're raising him right and raising him to think, raising him to be responsible, most of the time he on his own is making the best decision for himself, even from young. Okay. Next thing is, do not give him anything free ever. Do not just give him money because he asks. He must work for your money until he can get a job. Let me help you understand this. Unless it's a holiday or birthday, there is no, oh, mom, I want this. Can you buy it for me? Absolutely not. That is probably the worst thing you can do. And that is very quickly how you turn a boy into a homosexual as an adult, where his first mindset when he needs something is to go, your son come to you, hey, mom, I love you so much. Do you think that you can buy me these new J's? I'm sorry, do you plan on mowing the lawn? I'm sorry, do you plan on raking? Like, how do you plan on, you want to detail the car? Don't ever, because what you do is you train him to grow up and be an adult male, and when he needs something to go, ha, oh baby, you so beautiful, to get what he wants from women. Okay. So if you, as a woman, if he gets used to visually watching a woman here, give him money like this, you desensitize him to it, and you will turn him into an adult man who won't have no problem taking from women. Okay. He must work for everything from day one. I don't care if he's 2 years old. Okay. Oh, I want that toy. Okay, well, go put your toys in your toy box. Okay. All right. Go pick up your blocks. Then mommy will get that for you. I'm not kidding. Don't let him for a second think that anything will be handed to him, ever. Okay. And you want to do this until he is of legal age to obtain his own employment or business or whatever he so chooses to do. Okay. Next is, do not let him hear girl talk on the phone. Oh my God, this is the one that is so cringy to me. You on your phone with your homegirl, just y'all venting about y'all. Boy, oh girl, yeah. And then girl, he had the nerve to say, girl, I wasn't studying that girl. I don't know who he think I was. He had me. You just sit there and yap, yap, yap. All the girl talk, all your grievances about the man's, and he's hearing it. And that is the quickest way for him to build up resentment and self-hatred. Okay? No. You want to key. I don't have time. I want a girl talk. Key. I go to the car, bitch. I be riding the car. So anyway, now I could talk. You cannot. I repeat, this might be the most important one. Please stop venting about men, complaining about men, airing your grievance about men, and your son sitting right there and can hear it. All you're doing is instilling self-hate into him. All you're doing is instilling self-doubt into him. Please don't do that. Take your ass to brunch with your homegirls and talk. Take your ass outside to the backyard. Wait till he gone, do something, okay? But you got to stop that. Then now he grows up thinking negative things about women, like, oh, well, I heard my mom and my auntie on the phone talk about this one day. She won't get me like that. Don't do that. Keep your girl talk with your girls, okay? Next is, no man meets him unless it's for serious committed relationships, period. Okay? By the time a man wants to meet your son, he should have already been showing up consistently. You should have already done a background check. Okay? You should have already met his family or his kids, if he has any. You should have already spoken to the baby mama of his children first. And when he has decided, okay, we're going to go ahead and have a serious relationship, we're going to go ahead and get married, then he can meet your child. Okay? You cannot meet a guy and a week later y'all having, dates in the park with your son, because men will use your son to, oh, hey, boy, I bought you a toy and all that, to get in your drawers and try to get close to you. And you don't want your son seeing Uncle Daddy here one day and another uncle next week. It'll make him lose respect for you. Okay, don't do that. There is no reason for no man to meet your children unless he plans on committing to you. If y'all just doing something casual or you don't even know what's going on with it, there is no reason for him to meet your child. If it's not going into wedding bells, absolutely not. Okay, period. Under no circumstance. And background check. Stop meeting some dude online and 2 weeks later he in the house with your children. Background check. Okay. Next is, cover up when out and about with him. When you go into his games, graduations, birthday party, whatever it is, cover up. Okay. I go to a basketball game with my son. I'm damn near looking like a butch lesbian. You might question, like, is that a boob dagger? Like, is she? You might think that, because I might have on some sweatpants or hoodie. I try to look like a dude. Okay. When I'm out with my son, I don't have time, because you do not, especially as your sons get older. Okay. As they get older, you do not want to put them in a position where they having to fight for their life because you over here, with the crack of your ass out, and now his friends or other men looking at you and say something to you, and now his instinct feel though he gotta save a hoe and defend you. Don't do that. Cover up. Okay, like I said, his masculinity is naturally developing to be protective, to lead. Don't put him in that situation, okay? Have respect for him. You know, your little cute dresses and little shorts and stuff, that's for girls' days. That's for barbecues, whatever it is. It is not for going to your son's sports events. Put on clothes, period. End of story, okay? Next is, y'all gonna hate this one. Do not beat your son. In the same way, a man should never put his hands on his daughter, because if you put your hands on your daughter, you desensitize her to, oh, when I act up, it's natural for a man to put his hands on me because I was misbehaving. Okay. A girl should be so shocked and appalled if a man ever put his hands on her. Like, it should be jarring to her. Like, oh, did you just put your hands on me? Like, my own daddy never put his hands on me. I know that our toxic upbringing, we were told that, oh, I got beat and I turned out just fine. You did indeed not just turn out just fine. Okay. You have relationship issues. You have no relationship skills. You have no type of compromising skills. You can't get along with no one. Nothing is sustaining long term. You're actually not okay. You're actually miserable. Okay. Do not beat him. It is emasculating. It is slave-like. It is unnecessary. And it is for unintelligent parents. Okay. Your son simply will respect you when you respect yourself. And he will respect consistency. You're consistent with him. Okay. Again, you're pulling on his masculine instinct to care, to lead, to protect. Your son doesn't want to hurt you. Okay. You simply respect him, leading your femininity. He doesn't want to hurt you. He doesn't want to hurt you. He doesn't want to piss you off. He doesn't want to. He wants to protect you as much as he can. That's how you get him to behave, not by beating them. Keep your hands off your sons. Quickest way to emasculate him, have him question if he even wants to deal with women, have him have low self-esteem, or even worse, grow up to be one of the men in a relationship with a woman who can't never just say what needs to be said because he still got PTSD again popped in the mouth. Okay? No beating your sons. Next is, don't ever speak ill on his father. However, am I out of focus? Don't ever speak ill on his father, but be honest about his father. Okay. Be very matter of fact. All right. You know, for example, if you're going to say, you know, because they're going to want to know, I want you to always remember this. At some point, your son is going to want to know what happened with you and his father. He's going to have the question. Now, the way that you want to handle this, you know, when they're old enough is you have to tell them the truth. Why? Because 9 times out of 10, the consistent results already show what the truth was. So, for example, you can say, if you know, what happened with you and my dad? You know, how come y'all are not together? The wrong thing to do is say, boy, that one it, okay, he wants you to, he used to go upside my head. I used to catch him cheating 10th on time with 10 different women and child, he wasn't no good. That's the wrong way of handling it. Positive way, or the better way of handling it would be to say, you know, me and your father, you know, we were young. We both were in a hard time. We had a lot of, you know, family traumas. And sometimes when people have certain traumas or certain healings, it can cause them to, you know, abuse the people that they love. You see what I'm saying? There's a difference between that. And then you factually speak, you know, we were having issues with physical abuse. You know, we both love you very much, but unfortunately, there's a lot of healing and a lot of that needs to take place that didn't, you know, and you kind of got caught in the middle of that, you know, but we love, like, you want to pose it that way. Okay. You just matter of factly speak what it is. There was abuse. He was deleted. Yeah, he can't run the streets. I told him, stop running the street. Tell him, stop messing with the drug. But he didn't want to listen. And he ended up getting killed. I told him, whatever you are reinforcing to your son about his father, he internalizes. Even when you're on the phone with your homegirls, don't be on the phone with your homegirls. Like, girl, my baby daddy ain't shit, girl. Don't, where he can hear you. This does not have the effect I think some of y'all think it does. All it does is make that boy hate himself. Okay. But you want to go ahead and explain to your son, hey, this happened. So he can give his father grace. I don't know. It's super weird when women want their son to hate their dad. Good, bad, or ugly, that's his dad. Okay. And him hating his father only makes him hate himself. At the end of the day, you laid down with that man. Whatever you saw in him that made you do that is what you need to tell your son as well. Don't just sit there telling him the negative parts, because it also makes you look bad. It also makes him not trust your discernment. So you need to explain it in a way, there was a lot of help that we needed or support we needed, and things went this way. You don't have him start to self-loathe because of who he's come from. Last is, do not bring him with you for your self-care. All right. I cringe when I see women with their son at the nail salon. He's with you in the hair salon. You sitting there doing your makeup. He's sitting right there. Leave your sons out of whatever self-care routines you have. Okay. He does not need to sit there and watch you getting beautified to go see no man. Now, before you know it, he grew up trying to look beautiful to go get a man too. Okay. You ain't got nothing for him when it comes to you beautifying, getting yourself together. All you need to do is you come out the room and you're looking nice and put together. Ready to go, son? He don't need to be sitting there watching you coffin or almond. I've seen girls at a nail shop asking their son, which color you like, purple or red? And my baby boy said purple. You want purple? You're sitting there letting him make it be normal, as when he would normally see his father get up every day, shave his face, do all that stuff. Instead, he watching you every day, do your face, do your hair, do your nails, and it normalizes that as a routine to him. Keep him away from it. It ain't for him. It ain't for him. Okay. Stop bringing your sons with you all in place. I can't stand when I see a little boy in the nail salon, hair salon all day. Cringe, cringe, cringe. I want you to understand, when you have a son, he doesn't belong to you. A son is different from a daughter. He doesn't belong to you. You have to always remember that is a man in the making. Okay. Someone's father in the making, someone's husband in the making. You must be accountable. You must be honest with him. Okay. You must give him space to become a man. All right. Keep close to God, pray, meditate. God is going to send you messages in your meditation to help guide your son. When you keep a close connection with God as a single mother, God is like, he knows where that child may be deficient, and God will go ahead and tell you, like, hey, you might need to. So keep a close relationship with God, with the Most High as well. You're going to need it. Okay. And once again, and number 11, do not become a single mom. Okay. Making sure I put that out there. Also when it comes to finances, I'm letting you know now, if you don't receive help from the father, you are going to need multiple streams of income, honey. So I suggest you go ahead, get up. One little job probably won't be enough. All right. Don't be a needy girl out here asking everybody for money and stuff like that, honey. You had that baby, that's your baby. Figure it out. All right. I can't stand when somebody help a single mom, overly help her. Then guess what? Here comes single mom, baby number 2 and baby number 3. Okay. Woman up. Look at what you did. Go get money, honey. All right. You need a job, a second job, third job, side hustle, and a prayer. Okay. A lemonade stand, honey, whatever it is, you're going to need it. And they only get more expensive as they get older. All right. And don't become a single mom. All right. I want to make sure I say it all the time. I appreciate y'all for tuning into this video. I hope it helps. Like the video, leave a comment with your thoughts or any other advice you think may help for women raising sons, raising young men. Subscribe to the channel, and I will see y'all on the next one.